Y'all, it's time for some damn good tacos in college football. We're excited to announce our title sponsor, Torchys Tacos, for the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk, and the new addition to the Hogville.net family, the Arkansas pregame show starring former Hog running back Marshall Foreman, hosted by Jason Pattison. If you're looking for a place to unwind and call the Hogs, Torchys is the place. Torchys' location on MLK in Fayetteville is the proud host of the Arkansas pregame show, and it will air 2 hours prior to kickoff of each Fayetteville home game. The Arkansas Football Report airs every Thursday at 7 p.m. in Rogers. Check out the full-service bar on the patio or in the restaurant while you cheer Arkansas on to victory. Torchys has you covered with the daily drink specials or the taco of the month with their queso that's made in-house fresh daily. Torchys has 2 convenient locations in Northwest Arkansas, which happen to be the only 2 locations here in the great state of Arkansas. They have you covered for some damn good tacos, and go Hogs. Happy New Year and good evening, Razorback Nation. It's Thursday, January 2nd, 2025, and welcome to the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk. I'm Jason Pattison. A big thank you to the teams here at Rogers and also in Fayetteville, Torchys Tacos, 2 locations here in the great state of Arkansas with their hospitality that they show us each week. You can also click and like and subscribe to the Hogville YouTube channel where you can see all past shows from Otis, Dudley, Kevin, and Marshall. Be sure to stop by either of the 2 Torchys locations here, like I said, in Rogers or Fayetteville, which happen to be the only 2 Torchys locations in the great state of Arkansas. Try their taco of the month. I have to get that one here pretty shortly because they just turned over with the calendar, and we'll get that here pretty quickly for y'all. Make sure to pair their queso with any of their damn good tacos on that menu and open your taste buds to a whole new world. The special thank you to Carbless Cocktails, where you can try any of their 9 different flavors. They are 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and 100 calories. They have 8 vodka flavors and 1 tequila flavor. You can pick them up at any major retailer grocer or here exclusively at Torchys Tacos. So let's bring him on, the man, the myth, and the legend, Otis Kirk. Otis, how's it going, my guy?
Hey, man, going good.
Excellent. I'm telling you. That was a pretty quick trip that we had going back and forth to Memphis last weekend.
Yeah, it was a short one. We went over and came back the next day, but it was fun. I mean, hey, Arkansas played well. I mean, it's a fun game to watch. I mean, if you can see it. You guys were on the field. I was in Nashville, so it's hard to see, man. I mean, God bless. They put that press box up high at the Liberty Bowl now. I mean, that sucker is – I mean, if like Andrew was smart enough to bring binoculars. If you didn't have binoculars, man, it was hard to tell the numbers. And if the play was going west, like Dashman's touchdown, Taylor's touchdown, and it was down that right corner, we couldn't see it up there where we were at because the people in the front row had their laptops open, and it was out of we didn't know if Isaac doing his headstand. We didn't see that. I mean, I didn't see much of it. So, but yeah, it was a fun game. I'm not sure I'll be going back to the Memphis game this fall. I mean, that press box is just not. I don't know, man. I mean, I can see it better on TV than that. But
I think you could probably touch the wheels of those aircraft that were flying over the stadium during the game.
Yeah, I could almost. I think I was higher in some of those airplanes, but anyway, yeah, it was a good game though. I mean, I'm not griping. I mean, hey, got free barbecue, so I'm not griping. But no, it was a good game. Arkansas played well. Yeah. They didn't turn the ball over but once. Taylor didn't turn it over, which was good. I don't remember now who did fumble. Somebody fumbled. Who was that fumbled? Oh, it was running back, wasn't it?
It was.
I believe Rodney fumbled, didn't he?
Was it Rodney Hill? I believe
it was.
It was on an exchange. It looked like Taylor was trying to pull it back, and then it fumbled it.
Yeah. I believe Rodney. I know it wasn't Braylon, so I'm pretty sure it's Rodney. But whatever. I mean, it didn't cost them. They won the game. 2 interceptions. They won the turnover battle, which means they won the game.
Yep.
But no, I mean, they got 16 not commitments. They've got 16 signed out of the portal. That's big. Got at least 4 or 5 more coming in this week for a bit. Well, one of them's here right now, Caleb Wooden. safety. Starting free safety at Auburn. He's actually on the campus right now. I'll see him tomorrow. Got at least 3 coming in, supposed to be coming in Friday. Reginald Vick from Virginia Union, wide receiver Marcus Allen, wide receiver from Eastern Michigan, who played 2 years at Wisconsin. He's 6'2", 212, big 6'3", 185, FCS All-America.
Yep.
And Marcus Dummerville is an offensive lineman from Maryland. He started at LSU against Arkansas in 2021, Jason. 2021, he was at LSU. We was at LSU for about 3 years, but he started against Arkansas in 2021, and I think they'll get him. I think they'll get some of these other kids too, but they may get in. They can get capable of getting in those that I mentioned, but they'll probably bring in another one or two. I've got one other name on that list, but I can't confirm he's really visiting. So I know he's at Kansas, so I'm not going to throw his name out there, Jason, because I'm just not sure he'll visit. And I'm not sure if they get these two, he's a receiver. If they get these other two kids, or you get one of these two, I don't know if they want 6 receivers out of the portal. They may, because with Desmond leaving, you got C.J. Brown coming back. Yeah. I don't know if you've got a whole lot coming back next year other than I'm probably going to insult somebody. I'm probably leaving somebody out. I know you got the receiver from Monte Harrison, but he's not on a scholarship.
Jordan Anthony.
But I mean, the scholarship receivers, really C.J. Brown. So I don't know. You signed 4 out of high school. You've signed 4 out of the portal. I don't know if they'll take 6. But even if they did, it might be Reginald Vick and Marcus Allen and still not bringing in another one. So I don't think they'd take 7. I don't think that. When I asked a source to start this thing, and this was before the bowl game, well before the bowl game, it's back during the first portal opening, how many receivers they would sign, and this was a very good source. I mean, somebody would know. He said at least 4. I think I said that last time on this show, but he said at least 4. And so they've got 4. But obviously they're going to sign more than that because they've got these 2 coming in. I don't think they bring both of these kids in if they weren't going to take at least one of them. I don't know which one they prefer, if it's Vic or Allen. I don't know which one's up there. I prefer Vic, but I mean, that don't mean anything. What I prefer doesn't mean a thing, So, I mean, means I like Vic better, but both of them are good. And Allen's 6'2", 212, played at Wisconsin. So, I mean, really, they prefer Allen. I don't know. I do. I prefer Vic, but I really like Marcus Vic. Courtney Crutchfield was the one that I wanted more than anybody. I want him and Kendrick Law, but they didn't get Law, but they got Omega Blake. I think we may have talked about that the last time on this. I don't remember what we've talked about. I'm on so many shows. I don't know what I talked about here, but I do know getting Omega Blake. Yeah. Obviously, you trade Kendrick Law for Omega
big.
Blake. That's a good trade for Arkansas. I think Omega Blake's probably a better receiver. I didn't know they had. I was told by a source, a family member of Law's, they were going to get him. He was born in Warren, and I was told they were going to get him. That's why I was so high on him. I just thought he didn't do much at Alabama, but I thought he might be like Drew Sanders, come to Arkansas and have a breakout like Drew Sanders did because he didn't get played. But I think he'll be good at Kentucky. I think he'll be better at Kentucky than J.J. Hester will, the kid from Tulsa Union. Tulsa Booker T, I'm sorry, that went to Missouri and OU and now he's going to Kentucky and Arkansas hosted. He had too many drops for me. Reminded me of Broden, to be honest with you. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I mean, JJ had too many drops for me. I just stopped big on that. I don't know what George Anthony's going to do. I know he's off the game with a sick relative, but I mean, some of his tweets, I don't know what he's going to do. But I mean, I think they like the kid from Louisiana that Bobby liked that he signed. Louisiana, the receiver, but apparently they're going to load up out of the portal. Of course, out of the high school kids. And one thing I will say, Cam Shanks, he's going to play some, but he may be more of a punt returner than a wide receiver because even though he caught like 65 passes, if I'm not mistaken, last year at UAB, caught a 15-yard touchdown against Arkansas.
Yeah.
But
he was productive all season.
Yeah, Shanks is going to be he's definitely going to be a punt returner. He was first team All-American at that. So he had 62 receptions for 656 yards and 6 touchdowns. He had 2 punt returns for touchdowns. Led the nation in punt return. So I know he's going to be back on return punts. He may be more of a spot receiver. Raylan Sharp will play receiver. He's not very big, but now he's good. Crutchfield, obviously, I think he's going to be a break. I don't think people realize how good that kid is. Think about this. What if they'd gotten Courtney Crutchfield and Shaq last year in the recruiting class? Jaquan McCroy, 2 4-stars, high 4-stars.
Yeah.
What if you got them in that 24 class? People would have took a different look at that 24 class, So, and what if they'd gotten KB Broussard out of that class? He was a freshman. So, they've done well. They've done real well in the portal. I know people, I say they've done real well, people will come back and say, well, they're 6-6, they're mediocre. What I say about the portal has nothing to do with how they do on the field. I've already said they underachieved on the field. I picked them to win 8 games. They should have won 8 games. But that has nothing to do with the portal. I mean, we got to separate the portal recruiting from what you think about the coaching on the field. That's 2 different subjects. The recruiting in the portal is not mediocre. It's just not. And, they signed Crutchfield from Missouri. Getting Corey Robinson from Georgia Tech was huge, Jason. I don't think people know how big that was.
Are there going to be any more offensive linemen that Sam's going to bring in? Or
Mark
do they have coming in?
Maryland might be the one I think they'll get. And I think that'll be it. That's 5. That's 5 from the portal. And I think that would be it. I think they'll get Dummerville. He played LSU, started against Arkansas. I think they'll get Dummerville. He'll be here tomorrow. I'd be surprised. Of all the 4 of these kids, he might be the one I feel the best. I feel pretty good about all 4 of them. I just don't know if they want both receivers. And I don't know who they prefer. If they only take one, I don't know who they prefer between Allen and Vic. I got a feeling they might take both. But I do feel if they take both, they're not going to bring in another kid. I don't see the need for 7 receivers out of the portal. And but now one of the receivers they signed in high school, the kid from California, Jace Brown.
Yes.
They're looking at him, maybe making him a tight end, Jason. They're looking at he's 6'4", 200 right now. But they're looking at putting on weight on him, and they think he will eventually be a tight end. May not play it next year. He may play receiver. Mm-hmm. But they're eventually looking at him possibly to play tight end. So that's something to keep in mind. Antonio Jordan will play next year from Warren. That kid will play. 6'6", 230. Jacaden Ferguson will probably play next year. Quentin Murphy might. So, I mean, they signed 4 receivers out of high school, 4 in the portal, and got 2 more coming in for business. So, Marcus Dummerville would be the offensive lineman. That would be 5. Don't forget they signed Caden Kittler out of Central Florida. I'm sorry, to play center. I told him I used to play softball with Gus Malzahn, his coach. He laughed. He said, no way. I said, let me tell you a secret on that, Caden. Because Gus, I'm not going to tell you. I said, he's probably the best softball player that ever played me. And I had some damn good teams. We won state several times. Went to national championships in Salem, Virginia. I had some good teams. And I said, Gus, probably the best player that ever played me. He couldn't believe it. I mean, probably thought this old man's telling me this. But I told him, Gus, in all honesty, probably the best player that ever played me. And I had some former minor league baseball players play with me. But Gus was unreal. He really was.
So I got a couple of comments here. Michael Kepsky says, what up, guys? I'm going to refute this for just a second. He says, Pittman better get real. This roster as it stands will not save his job. Every player that he has brought into the portal, and Otis, I think you can probably agree with me on this, will compete or start this coming next season because he's not recruiting for depth. He's recruiting for starters right now. And speaking of starters, how is it looking on the safety and cornerback level right now?
Well, Kadai Walker, a cornerback, what he's doing, he's looking at recruiting rankings. And you got to throw those out the window. And I don't believe me. I know you're going to go to the rankings. You're going to say this guy's a homer. He's putting out BS. Believe what you want. I'm just telling you, you got to throw them damn recruiting rankings out because they're wrong. Kadai Walker at cornerback, and let's don't forget 2 kids they signed out of junior college. Kashawn Davila, cornerback. That kid's unreal. I mean, he could start. I think he and Kadai Walker, they signed him on that Saturday. And I asked him, I said, do you think you signed your 2 starting cornerbacks on the same day? Of course, they're not going to say that because they want competition. They're going to have they got to earn it. They're not going to hand it to them. But they signed those 2 kids on the same day. And I think they signed their 2 starting cornerbacks right there. That's me talking. they've got Quintavious Scandrick out of Eastern Michigan, and I love that kid. I mean, he's 6'2", 200, and I thought he's 6'3". He swears he's 6'2". That's why he's listed on the roster. He looks 6'3" to me. He's a big kid. I mean, he's
so Miles Bridges. Good Lord, I saw him at the
Walker is 6'2", 206, and I thought he was a safety. But he's a corner, cover corner. And I'll guarantee that's what corner is supposed to look like, played no U. Jaquan McCroy, I mean, if he doesn't start, he's going to be a quality tackle. I think Corona and Corey Robinson will probably be your starting tackles. Marion Harris and Kobe Branham at tackle. At guard. Yeah. And Caden Kittler at center. I think that's your starting lineup. I do. I think that's your starting five. But David Oakey, defensive tackle, will be in the rotation. I'll tell you what happened to Ken Talley at Michigan State. He was a 4-star, went to Penn State and signed and played. And he went to Michigan State, but they had a coaching change. Remember, they had a coaching change. He got the new staff didn't recruit him. They played their players over him. And which happens some. And that's why I like the transfer portal, because it does allow a kid to get stuck in a situation like that to get out. I wish they'd make it one transfer, which he went from Penn State to Michigan State, but I still wish I'm glad he got out, but but anyway, Jaden Platt, the tight end, will play. He's not Luke Has catching the ball. Somebody told me, well, he's not Luke Has. Well, no, I don't know if there's a Luke Has. There's not a Luke Has in the portal, but this kid's a better blocker than Luke. He's 6'5", 260, was committed to Morgan Turner at Stanford. He's going to play. Kemp Shanks, All-America, first-team All-America punt returner. Corey Robinson, I've already talked about. Stud, best player in this class. David Oakey, Caden Kittler, I talked about. Mike Washington, a running back, 6'2", 228. Never had a kid
great size
and say, just so you know, I signed yesterday. This is on Sunday morning. I signed yesterday. I just want you to know I signed yesterday. I haven't released it. I'll answer any question you've got. I told him, I love you, man. I love you, Mike Washington.
Makes your job so much easier on that.
Oh, man. Talk about first class. Quintavious Scandrick, I talked about. Justice Boone from Florida. Hasn't done much at Florida, but I think he's going to be in the rotation here.
What about Marcus Wooden?
Started at Cincinnati, played corner, but he's capable of playing. I think he'll be the kid from Tennessee, the safety, the guy from Tennessee this year that started the Hog.
I know who you're talking about. You're talking about Danico Slaughter.
I think he'll take his place.
Danico's,
Davion Broussard, I think, will be a backup guard, compete with maybe Amarian Harris or Kobe Kidney for the starting spot. Omega Blake and Courtney Crutchfield receiver. They may be two starters. Okay, that's the 16 I've gone through. There's no dog in that bunch. Those are all guys. No. I just went through the whole 16. And look, the 4 kids I'm talking about, Dummerville, be depth piece to play any of those offensive lines. It started LSU in 2021 against the Hogs. The 2 receivers, and then, of course, the 2 receivers, and then Caleb Wooden. He started free safety for Auburn this year. He was starting free safety at Auburn. So, against Arkansas, you asked, he had 3 tackles against Arkansas this year. So, getting an SEC starting safety if you get him. So I don't see it about this talent stuff. I think they had talent this year to win 8 to 10 games. You can scoff at that if you want to, people, but they should have won. They should have won 8. I had them winning 8. Probably, look, they should have beaten the OSU. There's no question. Oklahoma State could have beaten A&M if you don't fumble at 10. Who knows what would happen in the game? Missouri, you turned it over twice on their end of the field. Still could have won the game.
Yeah.
Texas wasn't unbeatable, 20-10, and turned that ball over so much.
Arkansas, it was a 1-score game with 6 minutes left. I mean, they had a chance.
C.J. Brown doesn't fumble there and gets in the end zone. They make it 20-17. It got interesting those last 5 or 6 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever it was, would have gotten real interesting. Texas may have still won, but it would have gotten interesting. So
I think that's what you saw happen with them.
Ole Miss blew them out. LSU at 16-10. LSU with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Taylor threw the interception, ran it to the 2, the 5 to the 2. It was over. So, but that was a 16-10 game with 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Ole Miss blew them out. Other than that, they didn't get beat this year because of lack of talent, and they're probably going to be more talented next year than they were.
Shooting themselves in the foot.
So just believe what you want about that, not having the talent to save his job. I don't know if Pittman will save his job or not, because he should have won 8 to 9 games this year, and he won 6, or whether won 7. When I was saying 8 wins, that was during the regular season. It wasn't during a bowl game. I said 8 wins. I had them win. I had them going 8-4, and they should have. So I don't know how many games. Like I told you earlier, you got to separate what you think about Sam Pittman and the coaching compared to the portal class. You got to separate that. It's not the same. It's one, and it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
All SEC players would Phil Steele, all 5 of them portal transfer guys to Arkansas. Every one of them.
Yep. And there's a 4-game arc. We talked about this earlier this year with the 4-game arc with A&M, Ole Miss, LSU, and I can't remember the 4th one. I think Tennessee. There's a 4-game arc, I think, coming up to this 25 schedule that will set the tone for the rest of this season. Second game of the season, you've got Arkansas State. You're at Auburn. You're at Memphis. And then you host Notre Dame, which
you don't go to Auburn week 3, do you? You don't go to Auburn week 3. They come here this year.
Yeah, Auburn. I'm sorry, Auburn week 3 here. So, and then you have Notre Dame, which just ran roughshod over Georgia. Well, kind of a depleted Georgia team, no Carson Beck, to move on to the CFP
Notre Dame will be tough. Arkansas State, that'll be their Super Bowl.
Yeah, it will be. It will be.
Super Bowl. It's going to be that's a tough schedule next year. They're going to be better next year than they are this year, but they need to be to compete because it's a tougher schedule.
And it's limiting the turnovers and shooting yourself in the foot. If they can control that portion of their game,
well,
I mean, I'm not going to go out there and say exactly how many I think. I got to see how these players play with each other when we go out for fall camp in August. But Michael Kepsky, this is interesting. He says, was the 3 traders who bailed for Ole Miss was it coaching or money? I mean, let's.
Well, I know one of them. It was money, and I don't consider Luke a trader. I mean, no. There's some extenuating. Braxton and Kudas played 5.5 games or less than 5.5 games for Arkansas this year. I don't consider them big losses people do.
Yeah,
I wouldn't trade Corey Robinson for either one of them. I wouldn't trade Kenai Walker for. But Luke Has was lost. But there's some circumstances there that I didn't agree with, and not with Luke. It was some stuff at U of A I didn't agree with, and because I don't think he wanted to leave, and there was some circumstances. I'm not going to go into them on here because it's not right, but I don't blame Luke for what he did, the way it went down at Arkansas. But they made a mistake there. They should have kept him, and I think he would have stayed. The other 2, people are more worried about them than I am. I mean, they played 5.5 games. Now, Braxton got hurt in the Ole Miss game, or the Oklahoma State game, never came back the rest of the year. Kudas lied to Pittman about redshirting and going to do it for Arkansas. Both of them knew all along they were going to Ole Miss. I mean, Kudas. Honestly, I look at Corey Robinson. I wouldn't trade him for any offensive lineman. Braun, Kudas, for the other one that left. I wouldn't trade him for any of them. I wouldn't trade McCrory for him. So, I mean, Arkansas did okay. They're going to be better on the offensive line. Cornerback, Jalen Braxton's a good player, but he wasn't out there. To me, that's like Jared Vanderbilt with my Lakers. He hasn't played a game this year. People know he's the best defensive player in the NBA or one of them. Well, big deal. If he ain't on the court, he ain't played. What good does it do you? Availability is everything, man. Availability is everything. Dependability is everything. It's just like you can have the best. I told a kid that worked for me one time in the media. He wasn't dependable. And I told him, I said, it wouldn't matter if you were the best. You better get your ass cleaned up, because I tell you, if you don't do better when you get out of college and next job, nobody's going to hire you, buddy, because that's dependable. And I don't care if you think you're the greatest. If you're not dependable, people are going to find somebody else that is, because dependability is so much. And same with availability in sports. If you're not available, you can be the best. I mean, Vanderbilt hadn't played a game all year. And I'm not going off on the Lakers, but I'm just saying it's the same thing with Braxton. He wasn't available. I said that to get going back to the Razorback with Braxton. He wasn't available. So, I mean, if you're not available, I don't care how good you are. He is good. He'll help if he's healthy. He'll help Ole Miss. But I mean, to me, Davila and Kanai Walker, if they're available, I mean, you got to have people available, man. I'm just not big on this potential stuff.
Yeah. Well, see, look at it this way. Did you see the Notre Dame game this afternoon by chance?
Yeah, I've watched bits pieces of it, Jason. I mean, I'm working and doing stuff here, but I've got it on. Yeah, I've got the Duke Ole Miss game on now till 9:30 when the Lakers come on. Yeah.
So, opening kickoff, second half.
Yeah.
Notre Dame runs it back for a touchdown. Opening kickoff, right?
Yeah.
Their kick returner was transferred from Marshall, and in 2023 at Marshall, he was the All-American kick returner. Arkansas just scored that with the kid from UAB. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there is that potential, and that right there is something that folks can get really excited about. Really.
Well, Kim Shanks did that against Arkansas. He had a 15-yard touchdown catch against Arkansas. He returned 2 punts for touchdown. I'm telling you, they upgraded there, and I love Isaiah Satana. But, I mean, Arkansas upgraded for his punt return. Now, is he a good receiver, Satana? I'm not saying I don't know. But I do know that he had 62 catches, and he was our first-team All-American punt return, 2 punt returns for touchdowns. The kid's good.
Yeah.
He's a quiet kid, talks real soft. He smiles and talks real soft, man. When you're old and can't hear well because of COVID, you talk up a little bit, buddy. But no, he's real soft talking. Quiet kid, nice kid, very, very polite, very polite.
Yeah,
not rude in any way. I just mean that real quiet. I think he was shy, but you know me, I've never met a stranger, but he seemed really shy. So I don't know, but he's a good kid, and I'm looking forward to seeing him play here. But yeah, I think he definitely. Yeah, I mean he can do some stuff, and that's a game changer. If that kid doesn't return that kickoff back for a touchdown, you know. Hell, I mean, it's a different game. It's 13-3, and then Georgia scored, Jason. So I mean,
13-10.
Yeah, 13-10.
Different game.
Different than 20-10. Georgia was limited without Carson back. They really were. But I do think that I do think the SEC was down this year. When Alabama loses at Vanderbilt, loses at a bad OU team, Georgia lost games. I mean,
twice to Michigan in a calendar year. That stung.
I thought they were down this year. I thought the SEC was. I mean, Texas, honestly, I thought they'd blow Arizona State out, and they didn't. But I think Ohio State's the best team in the country. I said that before the playoffs started. They were the 8th seed, and I said it's a joke that Oregon is the number 1 seed going to have to play Ohio State first game. I mean, that was that was a joke. I mean, somebody seeding that really messed that up. But I think Ohio State's the best team in the country. Doesn't mean they'll win it, but I do think they're the best team in the country.
Last night I was on another podcast, and I think that it's going to be Notre Dame and Ohio State for the national championship.
Oh, that wouldn't surprise me at all. That would not surprise me at all. I felt like, I mean, that Notre Dame team, hopefully the portal and pro draft wipes them out because they come to the table. Because otherwise they're going to wipe the Hogs out. But, yeah, they're a good team, but hey, Northern Illinois beat them, so anything can happen.
Anything,
They went to A&M and won. They're a good team. They're a lot better team than they were that second week or third week, whatever. I think it was week 2 they lost to Northern Illinois, but whatever week that was, they're a lot better team than that. And they never lost again, if I'm not mistaken. So
no, they haven't.
I honestly don't know why they weren't one of the 4 seeded teams. That, I mean, I didn't understand. I get all that conference championship. I get that, but I don't agree with it. I think they've got to reevaluate how they do that. I mean, if they're going to keep it at 12, they've got to reevaluate these buys. I don't think it was the fact that the teams did. I hear people saying, well, these 4 teams with the bye lost. If that bye killed them, I don't think the bye killed them. I think they got beat by better teams, Jason.
Yeah.
I don't think it may have hurt them. I don't know. But I don't think that's what beat them. I think they got beat by better teams. Well, for one thing, I think Georgia was favored in this game, but otherwise, those other 3 teams yesterday were all Penn State Tuesday night, they were all favored to beat the seeded team by a team. They were the favorite.
Yeah,
but
they were.
Once Georgia lost Carson back, I really doubted. I just think the SEC was really down this year. I mean, they need Texas to come on for them. Don't they play Ohio State?
Yep. We're going to look at the SEC really quick, Otis, before we get you out of here. Next Friday night, January 10th at 6:30, You've got Texas taking on Ohio State in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. Ohio State's a 6-point favorite going into this one, and I completely agree with this. At this point, you have Arizona State basically playing to lose, or not playing to lose at the end of that game, and Texas was getting throttled. They couldn't. And I saw a tweet by Chip Souza. He said there are over 1,500 high schools in the state of Texas, and they could not find a kicker that could at least put one through the uprights in the fourth quarter. I thought, well, damn, that's pretty accurate. But
there wasn't it the Arizona State kicker that first kick he hit. I don't think anybody blocked it. He shanked that so bad it made these Arkansas kickers who have had rough years look pretty good.
It did.
I really like the last the kid that kicked the last few games kicked pretty well. It was All-America from the Abilene Christian that struggled this year.
Yeah.
Speaking of Abilene Christian, David Oakey's going to be a player for you guys. I mean, for the Hogs, he's going to be a player. 6'2", 295. Great kid, too. I met him and his girlfriend. They talked to me for about 30 minutes when they were here. I'm telling you, man, he is going to be a good, solid player for the Hogs. I mean, they've got Kim Ball. It wouldn't surprise. I don't know who else they've got inside. I can't off the top of my head, but it wouldn't surprise me if he starts that. Now, Kevin Otis apparently really doing well at Under Armour. So, but I think
good.
It wouldn't surprise me at all if Oakey started for the Hogs next year alongside Cam Ball at that tackle.
Yep. You also got Ian Gerard also on the interior as well, because that guy's a mountain to move. Well, they're going to get another defensive tackle, so we don't know who that's going to be. So they're going to get another defensive. I think that'll be out of the spring deal, the one that opens up in spring. Thank God when Sunday this thing's going to close for a while. This portal's gotten out of hand. I mean, Arkansas only had one, I guess, go after the 5-day window after the bowl game, and that was obviously the receiver. Desmond James.
So it looks like that's the only one they lost, someone I know of. And 5 days has passed. I guess it was Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So,
yesterday.
And this is Thursday. So it should be closed unless somebody went and had a house. It should be open. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and I'll be proud Sunday gets here too, where the visit deal closes for a while. I'm tired of doing this every morning, man.
Maybe you can sleep in for a morning or two if you want.
I won't, though. I'll still be awake early, but I'll just be proud when it closes. It's getting out and it's cold and fighting everything. And still miss 2 kids at 4 o'clock in the morning, man. They left at 4. That was Kavion Broussard and Comega Blake. And guess what? They both signed with the Hogs.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter. I missed them. They signed with the Hogs, man.
Yep. Well, Otis, thanks for joining tonight, and we'll have another guest next week. We'll come out with that here pretty shortly, and we're going to give Otis some rest here for a couple of weeks and let him kind of catch his breath a little bit, and we'll be back next Thursday night, 7 p.m. Make sure you jump onto the YouTube channel and watch us, or live on the hogville.net website as well.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah, go for it.
John James wanted me to mention, I hope this is okay. He's got a GoFundMe, and I forgot to mention this earlier. GoFundMe for a family, a friend of his and mine who's got fighting cancer, and not going to name names, but it's a very good person. And he's got a GoFundMe on his Facebook account, John D. James. If you can have the money to do it, I know Christmas hit, New Year. If you got money to contribute to that, go check out John D. James on Facebook page. The GoFundMe is for a family. It's not his family. I'm sorry. It's not a family friend, but it's somebody we know. And it's a GoFundMe. And if you can donate a little bit, anything helps. Yeah. It'd be good. Anyway, I'm sorry about that. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
I promised John I'd do that, and I forgot about it.
Yep.
I was going to ask you beforehand if it was okay.
No, that's good.
Okay. I figured it was, but I forgot about it. Okay.
And if you guys can go on either John's page, I'll go over on John's page too, and you can either follow it on our Twitter account, my personal Twitter account, my Facebook. I think Otis might even have it on his. But
I don't. It's okay if somebody wants to share it to me. It's fine.
Okay, I'll share that to you.
Yeah, it's fine.
And we'll get the word out for that too as well.
Yeah.
So
anything helps. People.
Anything does help. All right, y'all, take care. We will see you next Thursday night at 7 p.m. here live at Torchys and Rogers. I want to say, y'all, take care and go Hogs.
Thanks, Jason.
Y'all, it's time for some damn good tacos in college football. We're excited to announce our title sponsor, Torchys Tacos, for the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk, and the new addition to the hogville.net family, the Arkansas pregame show starring former Hog running back Marshall Foreman. Hosted by Jason Pattison. If you're looking for a place to unwind and call the Hogs, Torchys is the place. Torchys' location on MLK in Fayetteville is the proud host of the Arkansas pregame show, and it will air 2 hours prior to kickoff of each Fayetteville home game. The Arkansas Football Report airs every Thursday at 7 p.m. in Rogers. Check out the full-service bar on the patio or in the restaurant while you cheer Arkansas on to victory. Torchys has you covered with the daily drink specials or the taco of the month with their queso that's made in-house fresh daily. Torchys has 2 convenient locations in Northwest Arkansas, which happen to be the only 2 locations here in the great state of Arkansas. They have you covered for some damn good tacos, and go Hogs.